Hey everybody, it's your friend and your guy and your favorite creator who doesn't need to change or evolve ever, Gardiner. You might have noticed that I have some new equipment. I got a new camera, got new lights. I'm pretty happy with how all of this is turning out. And it seems some people don't like the fact that I want to improve the quality of my videos and get away from like the camera on a tripod setup to do other things, maybe some tech related stuff. It'll be cool. Today, I wanted to do something I haven't done in almost a year, and that's review some Linux memes. It's been a minute since I've done this, and I always have fun doing it. And I tried recording 2 different videos today, and they both failed spectacularly. So I guess we're gonna do this instead. And if this video is late going up, that's why. So I'm gonna head over to r/linuxmemes, and we're gonna take a look at what the community has generated. All right, first one by Bjorn Tanto. I'll have a KDE rice with latte dock and transparency. How original. And a cyberpunk anime girl background. Daring today, aren't we? And NeoFetch open in a terminal. Absolutely. I can't tell you how many times I've seen almost that exact setup in other subreddits. Let's just say that. I'd say that's a relatable out of 10. GNOME devs be like, splish splash, your opinion is trash. I mean, if you have an opinion about the way GNOME looks and you don't have like an extensive background in user experience and interface design, then yeah, probably. I'd give that a solid perfect 0.0 out of 9. I don't even know. Big Ubuntu fan, it's a canal boat. That's not particularly interesting to me. That's a 0 out of 10 right there. Linux versus Windows. Linux users typing 13 commands to download Chrome. LOL, you're not wrong. Windows users waiting 2 hours for an update. Yeah. Look, dude, downloading Chrome though, like literally it's on Ubuntu, it's like sudo apt install Chrome or Google-Chrome. Like that's one command and then you type in your password and you're done. Meanwhile, on Windows, you have to open up the pre-installed web browser, which is Edge, and then you have to navigate to Google Chrome's website, and then you have to download Google Chrome, and then you have to open the download, and then you have to install it, and the installer has to download the actual install, and then you have to, you know, it's just endless. It's just an endless cycle on Windows, where on Linux, it's literally like, you're done. I'd say that's like a 1 out of 10 because there is that meme of, you know, Linux users have to do everything in the terminal and it's not user friendly, but yeah. I think that actually Bella Lugosi here did it right and came back with a good comment. So I'll give that comment actually a solid 8 out of 10. Actually, that's pretty good. But before we move on to the next one, I want to ask you a question. Are you enjoying this video? Do you like these Linux meme videos? Because it's been a while since I've done one and I'm having fun already. If you are liking this video though, like that smash button. It really helps the channel out. It helps you stay up to date with all the cool stuff we're doing here on the channel, as well as gently caressing that subscribe button. Subscriptions and likes give you just a little bit of control over the insurmountable YouTube algorithm. So you gotta make sure that you are on top of the content that you love. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and thanks. Windows 11 brings you closer to what you love. Thanks, I love using Linux, LOL. Is anyone else like actually disturbed by this background here? It like triggers my trypophobia or trypophobia or whatever it is, the fear of like holes. Like it looks like a mutant sea sponge, and that background just does not sit well with me. I don't like it at all. I'll give that a trypophobia out of 19. Finally, inner peace. Distro hopping daily, me, Debian. Now, I can't really relate to this because I've never been one for distro hopping. When Ubuntu first rolled out Unity, I was like, I gotta find something else, and I switched to Fedora, and I really didn't like GNOME 3 at the time. And then, so I switched to Linux Mint, and then that was the one I settled with because I don't really like options or choice. I just want to have a thing that works out of the box and not have to screw around with it. So I'll give that an unrelatable out of what's a really relatable number? 420. Yeah, that's an unrelatable out of 420. That feeling when you see the exact code that you're looking for in Stack Overflow. Yeah, really what I've found with Stack Overflow is that it's not really the code that I'm looking for. It's like the algorithm to figure out, like, you know, where something should be positioned on a page or something like that. It's really the math. I'm bad at math. I don't like math. I actually find math kind of contemptible. So I'm not interested in actually learning math. I just want people to give me the answers for when it comes to math. Ask Popey about that on Twitter. And look, Popey, you're not wrong, but the fact of the matter is SteamOS Hollow is the #1 on that list. Just saying, it's in the #1 spot. You can't really debate with the #1 there. I'll rank this one a how did they build Stack Overflow before Stack Overflow out of 11. I finally found it. After 15 years, the Scroll of Truth opens up the Scroll of Truth to reveal Arch Linux isn't minimal. Opens up the Scroll of Truth to reveal the 2020 election wasn't stolen. I'll rate that a solid 9 out of 10. I like that. It's more the meme format that I like. Arch Linux isn't minimal. That's absolutely true. I like that. That's a good one. Linux is too difficult. People new to Linux, Zorin, Mint, Debian, Ubuntu, Pop! OS, difficult Arch-based distros. Yeah, I said this on the Tux Digital podcast I was on recently. Go check it out if you haven't. I think that Ubuntu is still one of like my go-to things. And if Popey on Twitter is to be believed with his sorcerous magic that is math, it is like actually still the most popular distro by far. So I would recommend Ubuntu insofar as people are willing to actually like look outside of Ubuntu once they're got their C legs or their Linux legs, as it were. I'm not new to Linux. I'm just dumb. I don't know what Wayland is, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. Wayland is a display server like X11. But it's not, I mean, if you're not new to Linux and you don't know what Wayland is, I don't blame you. Most people don't need to know what Wayland is. I have zero preference or opinion. I don't care. As long as it works, that's all I care about. Don't you love it when Pac-Man just throws unintelligible errors at you? Error: to install this package, the key A623407449E9CEE is needed. The what? When you see a new user, no rice? New Linux user with default theme. Listen, I prefer the default theme on GNOME. I really do. I think Adwaita is the only theme that looks good. Like, and I'm talking across all desktop environments, across all operating systems. Maybe Haiku. Haiku is maybe a little bit better than Adwaita, but I think Adwaita is just beautiful. It's elegant. It's clean. It's laid out perfectly. I just absolutely love Adwaita. Depending on the app, sometimes I'll apply dark mode. In the new GNOME settings panel has dark mode that you can set, which is really great. I'm gonna give this 100 out of no rice because that's how this works. I mean, this is customizing is so overrated, even though it was like the thing that I loved doing when I was a kid. It was because I was like really into UI. Now I'm into UI in the web. The web is where UI is at. And that's where I prefer to customize because I'm a web developer. Me trying to learn how to self-host an Apache server at my Raspberry Pi, but I've been typing for 2 days and still can't figure out how any of this works and still couldn't make an actual web domain to show me my effing HTML. Hello world. Yeah, I've been in this game for so long that that's all second nature to me. But I remember when I first tried using Apache, and it just boggled my mind, and I ended up switching to Nginx because it was just easier. Nginx was great, but I'm back to Apache now just because I get it now. I understand Apache now that I've been using it for a long time. I'd give that an Apache out of Nginx. I'm far too busy and important to actually know what I'm doing. I don't use GNU/Linux because I value my time starter pack. Marvel, Reddit, Discord, Amazon Prime Video, Apple Event, OnlyFans, Snapchat, Windows Task Manager, Windows Updates, YouTube, Netflix, guy playing video games, I don't know what that is, Twitch, Nintendo Switch, and Pornhub. Yeah, I can confirm that that is definitely I don't even know how to describe what that makes me feel, but it's like, yeah, I don't use Linux because I value my time, and then they use all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, I only use Reddit for content, and I only use Discord for communicating with my employees, but and then YouTube, obviously. But the rest of this, I don't really care that much about. I'd say this is a social media out of time wasters. That's my rank. When Ubuntu has Snap and Fedora never shuts down properly. Arch, fine, I'll do it myself. Fedora never shuts down. Dude, Fedora has so many issues with sleep for me. I've tried it a couple times recently, and like, I just can't get it to sleep. Like, my PC just won't sleep, and it drives me crazy. Finally installed Arch Linux, and it fails to boot. Up, down. I'd give that a bug's life out of Pixar flicks. That's for you to judge. Scenario, you have 4 GB of RAM. Linux, I will let you browse web, watch movie, copy files, and you will have more than half the RAM remaining. Windows, blue screen of death. Yep, absolutely. Average Linux minimalist, alias less equals more. Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. I dig that quite a bit. I'd say that's good out of something. I don't know. That just felt right to me. I'm thinking about buying a custom doormat. Any thoughts? Home sweet home? That's clever. That's clever. I'd give that a yellow brick road out of 10. One thing to try that is perhaps extreme is to place the drive in a few layers of freezer bags and cool it in the freezer, and then try to get it to mount and copy off what data you can until it fails again, and then repeat the process. It's absurd, but it's worked for me, and there is a lot of anecdotal evidence that this can help recover data, regardless of the myth-dispelling posts that started to appear on the internet once the idea was picked up by major tech news outlets. Appropriate username. Chillin'. Nice. I would say don't try that, because one of the biggest issues is if you put a drive in the freezer and you take it out, it's going to be cold, it's metal, it's going to condensate. Condensation is really bad for electronics. You don't want water on your electronics. So I wouldn't even bother with that. I'd say I'd give that a short circuit out of 150. Discord on Linux. Discord on Linux. Yeah, Discord is, I don't like it, but it's like better than Slack at least. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure to inform you that as an Nvidia Linux user, 10 out of 10 last crashes were related to a firmware bug of my AMD X370 chipset. My first reaction was, yeah, I bet Nvidia did this, not gonna lie. That's a gentleman frog out of classy. I use Arch, by the way. I like that. That's just, I don't know, what game is that? Looks like a game. Never seen it before. That's cool. I think that's gonna be the last one. I'll give that 3 penguins out of a truffle of penguins. An explosive red barrel out of video game hazards. That's a good one. But I think I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. It's because of you guys that I'm able to continue doing the show and making it into what it is today. So I appreciate you being here. If you're not already, hit that subscribe button. It helps the show out. It keeps you up to date with all the cool Linuxy stuff that we're doing here on the channel. I love your faces. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a blessed day.